Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cup of Joe with Joe and Joe podcast. I am your host Joe, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Joe.
Everybody is just whipping out their Bankai this episode. We got a Bankai on the left, a Bankai on the right, a Bankai for you, a Bankai for me. My God, we've seen all the Bankais.
It's a Bankai Bukkake.
Oh no, cut it, cut it. The Bankai Bukkake. Oh God.
I don't know how much of that is actually going to make it into the episode, but
None of it.
We had to cut a lot. That's always a great way to start an episode. Okay. Anyway, we start off where we left off.
Kensei, Rose, and yeah, it's Master Masculine.
Yeah, so Masked Man is one of my least favorite types of fighters, which is someone who's just a goofball, and he goes not hard in the beginning, and then you're just like, okay, thank God we can just get rid of him because I really don't like him. And then he's just like, oh wait, I can do it actually. And he just goes sicko mode and just obliterates people all of a sudden. This is a personal preference thing, Joe. I hate that. I hate it. I don't like it anytime it's used. But yeah, we get to see both Kensei and Rose's Bankais. Kensei's is pretty cool. He's got like mech arms, and every time he punches you, it's just like a vibro gauntlet, like the Shocker from Spider-Man, and you just get hit a bajillion times. Looks great. Rose's Bankai, very interesting. Again, CG, but I think it works very well here. It's very unnerving. There's a lot of really weird mannequin. It triggers a mannequin phobia in me, you know? I'm just like, oh God, I don't want to. Don't touch me, please.
Yeah, both the Bankais looked sick. Rose's is probably the big one everyone's going to be talking about, but it looked amazing. I was literally mouth slightly agape just watching it, being like, this is so cool.
And this fight between the two captains and Masked Man, I appreciate it because it moves at a clip. It doesn't waste any time being like, oh, there's a little bit of back and forth here and there. It's like, there is a small bit of back and forth. Kensei punches him. He's down for the count. James revives him. He then obliterates Kensei. And then that's when Rose comes in, and immediately, before he even attacks the Masked Man, he just cuts James in half. And I was like, thank you. You know, at this point, he's one of the main power resources for him. So you got to get rid of him, eliminate him, get him out of there. And then Rose has his little 1-2 with him. Turns out Rose's Bankai actually utilizes music, and it screws with your brain that way. So he's not actually, you see him use like ice and fire and stuff like that, but from what I understand, those are metaphorical, and they're not actually there. It's just the music in your brain making you feel like they're there, even though he does get a burn on his shoulder. I don't really know how it works, but he talks about it like that. So the Masked Man, doing the only thing any sane person would do to stop this Bankai from affecting him, rips his own eardrums.
Very cool. I thought it was badass. I was like, that's so smart. And when Rose is like, oh fuck, did you just? He's like, yes. And they just, again, it's a realistic fight. Rose gets bodied. Star to the chest. Oh my goodness. It was so satisfying. I was like, damn, that was a sick fight.
Yeah, and again, quick and to the point. There's no pussyfooting around here. It's like, no. You fucked up. I got the upper hand. Boom. You got a star hole in your body now. Get wrecked, kid. But those UFOs are coming in, Joe. And I was right. Let's go, baby. It's Rukia and Renji. They're back from their training, their hot spring days, their little spa session they had going on, and they are stronger than ever. First things first, Rukia ends up taking both the captains away. Renji's just like, all right, I got this guy. It's going to be totally fine. Get these guys out of here. Get them to somewhere safe where they can be healed up. And you're like, okay, cool. Rukia has a line in here. She eyes up the Masked Man, and then immediately she's like, nah, yeah, he's no problem for what you've become. There's something very cool that's about to happen here. But first, Renji's also got to chop down little James. Because fuck that guy. No one likes that guy. Get him out of here.
Joe, you hate the fun little characters. You really do.
I know. I don't like them. You should be very well aware of this. I don't like him.
It's just crazy how consistent it is. Any cute little thing that people are like, oh my God, what a great character. Joe's like, ugh, get him out of here.
Because they're not good characters, though. They're just little shits that people enjoy because it's the type of preference of things, and I don't like them. They're not characters. Not a character. This is why I don't like Demon Slayer. Every single character in Demon Slayer is one of these motherfuckers. But yeah, so How do I even launch into this? It's just Rukia leaves and Renji is like, all right, time to fight you, dude. And you get an amazing battle between Luchador Man and Renji.
Dude, Renji's just such a cool character. They actually did say the line that I was telling you about. That's pretty ice cold. That's where Master Masculine's like, and who are you supposed to be? And Renji lifts up the goggles and he's like, a villain? Damn, that's hard as fuck.
That is hard. And also, I love the fact that Luchador Man, because it's a part of his theming, is just like, ah, yes, theatrics. I am one for those as well, if you could not tell. So he just leans into it for the entire fight. And so you get, when Renji slices up Little James again, Luchador Man loses his shit. He's like, oh, no, villain, big bad man. And so they just brawl. He starts smashing him through buildings in the Seirete, and the camera's just following them as they're literally flying at this point because of how hard he's being hit. Side tangent again, the fit of Rukia and Renji when they drop in.
Dude, they're coming from Hoth. Like, this is straight out of like, oh, we were just on Hoth. Sorry, guys. Back to the Soul Society.
Rukia, yeah, straight off of an ice planet. Renji looking like he's coming out of Tarzan with his like leopard print shawl thing going on. I'm like, what the hell is that? Great. The goggles, the Soviet snow hat that Rukia is wearing. I don't care where they got it from. They look dope as hell. I love it. All their outfits. So fucking cool, Joe. I like them a lot.
I know, and I love Rukia so much. She's one of my favorite characters. We might get a little bit more of her in coming episodes, but I loved seeing her. And yeah, the little look up and down, being like, yeah, you can take him. I was like, yo, that was cold too.
Very, very cold. But yeah, anyway, back to the fight. So both of our main guys, between Luchador Man and Renji, they have a little power-up scene. Well, Luchador Man, first of all, he just completely rips off Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. He rips off everything. He doesn't have stars on his nipples, but he's got a star in the center of his chest, like his little superhero symbol. Again, theatrics, very into that. And when he brings out his, what's it called? The glowing wing thing.
Standig.
Yes, exactly. When he brings that out, red, just like Bambietta's, but his is, again, very Luchador-esque. And so he just has a glowing cape, a little, like, eccentric thing on the front of it as well. And then also, and this is one of my favorite parts, the mask changes, and Renji doesn't skip a beat, just going, wait, why does your mask change? And I was like, thank you for lampshading that, because it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I know. This episode, there was a lot of single liners where I was like, that was funny or that was cool.
Yeah, again, it's Renji, so it's like, I anticipate a lot of that from him, because he's usually pretty quick-witted with all this stuff. So, not to be outdone, Renji also does a little costume change here. At first, I was expecting his regular Bankai, which is what they were kind of teasing it to be. You see the massive snake head after he takes a big ol' attack from Luchador Man. But then stuff starts changing. And you're like, what is this? And Renji looks completely different. He doesn't have one big snaky boy. Instead, he's wearing some interesting furs and armors. And you're kind of like, what? This isn't Renji's Bankai. What the hell is going on? Get a little flashback to when he's up with the Squad Zero peeps. Big paintbrush man. He's all like, hey, name of your Zanpakuto? You only got half of it. And Renji's like, what? What do you mean I've only got half of it? He's like, yeah, so it turns out I have another name that I don't remember, but it translates roughly to Speaker of True Names. And I came up with all the names for Shikai and Bankai and all that sort of crap, so I can see that your sword has yet to reveal its true name to you. And Renji's like, what? And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to tell you it anyway. You don't have to do any work for it. And he's like, oh, okay, sweet, thanks. A little bit of bullshittery going on in the story, a little bit of retconning going on here. It turns out Renji was never actually using his full Bankai because he only had part of the name. So he learns the full name, and he gets this new Bankai. And I am kind of split on it.
Interesting. I really like it. I like the way it looks. I think it's a cool mix-up. I don't know. The old one was pretty sick, too, with the giant snake sword and the furs. But maybe we get a little bit more development about it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm down. I dig it. I thought it was cool. It looked badass in the fight.
Yeah, I think it looks cool in some parts. when he initially brings out the blade and it's just like the simple blade, I'm like, that looks sick as hell. And then when he impales Luchador Man and it's got like the jagged teeth on it, like his Shikai kind of does, it doesn't look as sleek or as sexy because they're not like, it's all like rectangles. It's not like little jagged points or anything like that. So I just thought that looked kind of dumb. I'm a big sucker for his original Bankai, which is just a big old snake boy. It's so versatile. And seeing this one, like, yeah, there are a couple of pretty versatile things. He can change the shape of the blade. He's got this one big bone hand on the other arm that's not wielding the sword. So it has potential. And it does look, again, sick as hell. It's got some legwork to do to really make it seem like it's an upgrade from the previous one.
I wonder if he can still use the old one just by saying half the name. I wonder if you could use both. If it would be like a variation of a Bankai. That would be wild.
That would be interesting. I don't see why not. So perhaps he could.
But that's like our big action portion, and it's badass. It's really sick. It's very satisfying when Renji finally kills Mask. You're like, okay, that was badass.
Yeah, thank God.
And that's like pretty much all the fighting there is in the episode. There was a very, very good scene with our head captain and Mayuri that I want to hear your thoughts on.
Oh, right. Yes. Mayuri does calls up the head captain and he's like, well, you were drinking tea with the enemy. All of our forces have been decimated. And the head captain's just like, I mean, I wasn't really drinking tea with them. We were kind of having a little standoff sort of thing. And Mayuri's just like, I don't care. I'm passing you through to everyone. Talk to them. And of course, everyone has their fucking soul phones. There's so many soul phones, Joe. I didn't think there'd be this many soul phones this late in Bleach, but there are so many. And of course, the head captain is just like, all right, everybody who's left around, I'm beaming locations to all of you. These are safe houses. Everyone go back there, regroup, get orders from your commanding officers, all that good stuff. We're going to restructure ourselves for the next assault here because we are getting slapped. I enjoyed that. I like actually seeing the head of the entire Seirete giving orders like a general in an army, trying to actually lead and organize stuff. Shunsui is actually someone of strategic intellect, and it also makes everything seem like there's more believable structure to it, where it's not just like, okay, everyone's just off kind of doing whatever. It's like, no. Everyone was off doing whatever, and we were losing horribly because of that. So now, get to a place that's safe, regroup, get new information, get new orders.
Makes you feel like it's an actual war, which is awesome. And we also get updates on some of the captains and lieutenants and their statuses.
Yeah, most of them are down for the count, but they can still feel their presence. I think Toshiro is the only one that we are told explicitly does not have any spiritual pressure like remaining that can be sensed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that as well, but the one line that was my favorite was that Zaraki is not responding to our call.
Yes, of course. You teach Captain Zaraki to use the power of his sword. You kind of brought this one on you.
Yep, that's one of those things in the back of my head, Joe. I'm like, when are we going to see that guy again?
When are we going to see the spiky-headed man with the big plan? His big plan isn't a big plan. He just wants to kill people. But yeah, we get the return of Rukia and Renji. We get to see Renji in his new kicks and his new powers. We get to finally see Lil James get cut in half not once, but twice, and then eviscerated by his own partner. It's glorious. I love it. Fuck Little James. Get him out of here. Luchador Man dies after cosplaying Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. And we get a little bit more information in regards to Quincy's stuff. Because once Luchador Man dies, his ashes return to Yuhaba. And Yuhaba is just like, all right, I'm going to take you in, and now I go sleep. The floor is yours, Uryu. And Uryu's just like, oh, wait, what? Hashwalt comes back, and he's like, hey, so, I don't really like you and all. But you are the chosen successor to my leader, and I would do anything for him, so I guess I'll tell you what the hell is going on. And that's where, like, the episode gets kind of, like, cut off for us. It's just like, oh, can we get that information? No, wait till next time. Okay.
A lot of good cliffhangers right there, kind of figuring out, because Hashwalt poses a question, like, do you know what kind of being Yuhaba is? Like, do you even know him, bro? It's kind of what it comes off as.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm excited to learn about that. I'm pretty sure next episode we get some more time with my girl Rukia.
Aside from that, I also hope we get some time with Ichigo, because
yeah,
this marks the
no
first
Ichigo
episode.
at all.
Absolutely none. And I was, last time he finally got to the science girl, and she was like, all right, here's your next mission. Fuck me, Ichigo. And he was like, oh, God. So, either we got to get a flash to that, or the aftermath when they're both in bed and she's got, like, one hand lighting a cigarette while the other hand is, like, texting on the soul phone to see what the hell is going on in the Seirete, She's got, like, 6 arms. She's got to utilize them for something, either during or after the coitus,
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm excited for next episode. Maybe we'll see that. You never know. They're doing a lot of anime original content.
Show it! Show it, you cowards.
Either way, I thought this episode was pretty fire.
This, like all the other episodes that have been in Core 2, I think it's pretty good. I enjoy it. It's very cool seeing all the different captains, lieutenants, characters that we've had around for, hundreds of episodes, going through really cool battles, evolving in new and interesting ways. It does feel like there's a bit of a focus problem where it's kind of like, okay, we've pulled away from a main conflict to all these individual things. It's a bit more like villain of the week type thing, even though they're all Quincy's fighting on the same side against the Soul Reapers. I do want it to kind of focus a little bit more up to like a main conflict.
Again, it's supposed to be a war, so you gotta, I guess the way to put it is you have to wait for numbers to dwindle down.
Gotcha. But yeah, aside from that, another solid episode of Bleach that we got. Hope next episode we finally get to see Ichigo and the Science Gal going at it, or at least the aftermath where it is very implicitly implied that is exactly what happened. No, I am not kidding. Anyway, always remember everyone, we'll love you, we'll leave you, and goodbye.